Go. Alright, welcome back to Black Butler Anime Review, episode number 29. We're here reviewing the final episode of the Emerald Witch arc, which also just happens to be the 70th episode of the series, His Butler, Submerged. This adapts from pretty much the rest of chapter 107 and the entirety of chapter 108. Yeah, this episode is another epilogue episode, but it's also set up for the very next arc of the series, the Blue Knight arc, which this episode adapts the first full chapter. As for when this will come out, I don't know. I haven't heard anything per se, but I'll talk about that in a bit. So we begin right where we left the last episode, where Sully has basically chopped up some of her hair, so they reluctantly accept this, so they finish up with their measurements with the outfits, and then they go back to the mansion. By the way, Mei Lin is actually not in this episode. You're thinking, why is she not here? Because she was not in the chapter. Neither is Snake, or Talbot, I think his name is, the one who's the Japanese butler. He's not here in this episode. Finian and the cook are here for a brief cameo. Heck, even Indian Prince is here, which is surprising. Yeah, this actually is his only appearance. This whole arc is the ending of this damn thing. Yeah, he was featured probably through the second half of the previous arc series. This one just short cameo, and that's it. So he's like very happy this is Cecile's home. He's like, oh, I think he's to bring home a concubine, despite the fact she's 2 years younger than Cecile's like, no, that's not the purpose of this. So then, of course, they proceed to go through lessons. It's similar to like a My Fair Lady treatment, like treating her, just basically make her into a lady. And even at one point, in order to say the words properly, like they use the pause properly, is how they say the words in English, mind you. Which, of course, Sebastian keeps telling Wolfgang, please have your complaints made in English, not German. Which, of course, basically he has to look up a dictionary to find out what the heck to say to him. At one point, they put this device in Sully's mouth, where on her mouth, to basically say stuff properly. She doesn't like it very much. She complains to Cecile. Cecile probably can't understand it said, and then they toss her over. He ends up on top of her, and the thing pops out of her mouth, and that's when Lizzie shows up. Lizzie, of course, getting the complete wrong idea, thinking that maybe Cecile was cheating on her, who about to do a drop kick on Cecile. Yes, a freaking drop kick. But look at Sebastian to stop her, had to explain everything, and had to have him go through the lessons, and after complete the lessons and get the extra outfit, and then they go for the queen. They do, in fact, do a flashback of telling her, please don't tell her about the gas that your mother helped develop. They don't say her mother, but yeah, basically don't talk about the other, the lethal one. The fact become a doctor, not someone who kills people. So then, of course, she bows for the queen. The queen appreciates it. Then they have tea. And eventually, Bishop pick one, and then they have a very polite discussion, which, of course, basically Cecile is basically telling her everything she needs to know about. Basically debriefing her on the situation that happened in Germany. Basically, he suggests her becoming a doctor who could benefit all of England, which the Queen actually agrees to that, no problem. And then afterwards, they become close friends. And of course, Sebastian is off with an air. He doesn't go to the meeting itself. He's basically taking the little bullets containing this very deadly gas, and he's basically jumping off a cliff and burying it somewhere in the ocean. Which, as far as I can tell, no one's ever... Because in the manga, they actually don't show what he did. The anime completely made the scene up of him jumping in the water to bury the gas, which, as far as the manga is concerned, the gas does not come back at all. That's me. So then, of course, we have, after GC Cecile off with after the thing, the Emp Witch is not sitting the rest of the episode. As a matter of fact, She only appeared after this arc only once, wearing a completely different outfit, where she comes to join the medical industry, where she's briefly featured, still be a friend of the Queen. But that was all it for her. It's like this whole arc basically created her debut, they developed her, and then afterwards they very much up to her side. And that's not the character's fault, that's the writer's fault for that. So then, of course, the episode actually ends with a brief post-credit scene where you have Cecile doing paperwork, lots of paperwork. He had a lot of paperwork to catch up with when he was over in Germany for a while. And he gets a mysterious letter from the Queen, and all this does is set up the Blue Night arc, the Blue Cold arc, excuse me. As for when that's going to come out, I don't know. I mean, this episode kind of confirms that's what they're going to do next, but that depends upon the studio if we're going to get it. I kind of hope we don't have to wait a whole freaking year. Hopefully, don't wait too long for them to announce this. And that is the end of season 5 for the show. Another really good, damn good season. I gotta say, there's more action here than there was during the previous season of the show. Yes, definitely. And it is slightly longer than the previous season. Yeah, season 4 was, let's see, it was... It was 11 episodes. This one was roughly 2 episodes longer. You're thinking, why was the episode count for the season longer than the previous season? Well, to tell the truth about them, Public School arc was 19 chapters. Yeah, 19. In the case of Emerald Witch, this was also... This was a little bit shorter, per se, but I think because it was published over a slightly longer period of time. Yeah, the manga itself for this arc started from October 19, 2013, and concluded in June 19, 2015. The previous arc started on March 19, 2012, and concluded September 23rd, 2023. Yeah. Now, if you're really curious, how long is the very next arc of the series, Blue Cult? This is actually slightly longer than the previous 2 arcs. This is 22 chapters. But they already did adapt basically the first chapter of this episode. Yes. And this went on for about almost 2 years. Oh yeah, also almost forgot to mention the brief scene with the Undertaker. But I'm looking forward to whenever they adapt this arc. When? Not sure. If you're wondering, how long ago did the arc start? The Blue Cult? Almost 10 years ago. Why in the world they go wait long? I'm not sure. I mean, heck, the previous arc ended 10 years ago as well. So, I pray to God we don't have to wait 10 years for their season. And if you're curious, like, they just adapted chapter 108. If you're really curious, the most recent chapter that came out for the series was chapter 215. That was the most recent chapter released of the series. Actually, 216, excuse me. So, will there be another review for this coming soon? The only time, basically, we're going to get another chapter, another review for this particular series is whenever the manga comes out. As when anime comes back, I don't know. They've been very quiet about that. All the other anime keep getting announcements for you, but not this one. Nope. Not this one. Especially since they have... Well, before we get to the current arc of the series, they have 2 arcs to go through. Like I mentioned, Blue Coal was 22 chapters. Discharge chapter 128 concludes in 129. Blue Memory arc is shorter. This one's exactly 20 chapters. Blue Revenge, which has been going on since chapter 150. Excuse me. Let's see. 50, 60, 61, 62, 63, 60. This arc, the current arc of the series, Blue Revenge, has been going for 63 chapters. Quite lengthy. And yes, there's plenty of material to do 2 more seasons of the show. Will they do it? Depends. Okay? So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe to notifications. Next up is going to be... I left my adventure party to my former students explore dungeon desk. Let's go. Bye.